Hey guys, welcome to today's live stream show. Thanks for being here. We're just going to have a laid back discussion about the Charlie Adelson case. I know lots of people are very excited about the trial starting on Monday. So I'm still sucking on the remnants of this Ricola lozenge. So hopefully it helps because I have two of them here, plus I have hot water plus honey. So thank you all for your concern and stuff. People said they didn't really enjoy the fake artificially generated voice. So you got me here in real life. So let's first start by me just basically being a slacker and telling you guys to look at Mentor Lawyer's latest video, which I think basically summarizes what I would say about how Charles Adelson's hearing went on Friday. So he also started out with this motion in limine where both parties agreed that Harvey and Donna are not going to be called as witnesses, and they're not going to mention before the jurors anything about this whole process where they did try to interview them. So anyway, I think most of you guys have seen this already, but it's a very good explanation of things as well as why he thinks the state ultimately dropped the interview, which I know was really disappointing for most of us. I was very surprised. So please take a look at Deep Dive True Crime so you can hear his reasoning for that. Let's see. Okay, let me start from the top. Thank you guys for being here. Let me drink something more. It just always seems to be so croaky. So everybody keeps complaining. So, okay, thank you all for being here. Okay, you feel like it's the night before Christmas waiting for, yeah. I mean, I would say like Christmas, but it's kind of like finally something is going to happen for Dan and his family. The last thing we needed was for this trial to get postponed. So I was afraid that with that whole Donna Harvey interview issue that something could happen postponing the trial, but luckily it didn't. Okay, so Charlie doesn't plea. Will he consider himself the hero for protecting the family? Well, I think at this point he's probably not feeling too hot about being a hero. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just he and his attorney still seem pretty confident that there's a chance he's going to beat this, so he's not going to try to make any sort of deal. Yeah, hero complex could be. Seems like he and his psycho mom both think Wendy is as helpless. Well, yeah, it could be. I mean, they definitely did talk a lot about her behind her back and how they were going to manipulate her and stuff. So, let's see, he doesn't care about Wendy as much. Yeah, that's right. His mom is like his best buddy. Yeah, he'll just do what mom tells him to do. Issues with women, yes. Okay. Yeah, they definitely talked about her, and as well as the oldest brother. They talked about both of them in pretty disrespectful terms. Okay. Concerned about the boys spending time with mom, granny, or grandpa. Can't be a good situation. Well, you should ask Charlie's kid's mom, because supposedly she posted a comment on my channel talking about how great grandma and grandpa Donna and Harvey were, how they're such nice people. They're like the best grandparents. Charlie's been the best dad. I mean, it sounded very bizarre to me, but one of her relatives said it did sound like it was indeed from her. So yeah, that's That's right. Yeah. And I'll talk about this later if we have time, but I did rewatch Lacass's police interview this afternoon. And it's just so telling and very troubling the way he just describes the whole lot of them. Yeah, just saying that they were a bunch of sociopaths, no conscience, whole family's very weird family dynamics. Yeah. Rashbaum seems excited for his opening if he has to stand behind a lectern or if he can move about. Yeah, I mean, what's he going to do? Do some like physical dance demonstration or something? Wonder what the defense would. Yeah, there's got to be finger pointing. I mean, that's what I've suspected all along, that he's definitely going to say, poor Charlie, he's just gotten roped into this after the fact. He had nothing to do with the actual planning. Wendy did it. So it should be really interesting to see how he cross-examines Wendy. Let's see. Yeah, thank you, Top Cat. Thank you guys for being here. Let's see, I'll just kind of scroll down and see if there's any questions. Oh, yeah, you do feel a little embarrassed. I mean, poor guy, he's got, well, I shouldn't say poor guy, he's getting paid tons by the Adelsons, right? And now they can apparently afford a third attorney for Charlie. So he's got a tough job. They all do. So I try not to make fun of defense attorneys because I have worked for that kind of law firm in the past, and everybody's got a job to do. This is part of the process in the U.S. court system where everybody's entitled to a zealous defense. Hope Charlie testifies. Yeah, I kind of think so too. I mean, who knows what will happen? I think it's going to blow up in his face, but he might be, what do I say, champing at the bit to testify and get up there and try to talk his way out of it. Yeah, thank you for being here from Idaho. Yeah, you think sitting in jail 18 months would set Dev? Yeah, you think so too, but his mom is like his best bud, whatever. Yeah, his true love is his mom. He's not going to give up his mom. Oh, okay. Yeah, he was set up. Yeah, or else that, yeah, Wendy did it, then tried to pin the blame on him. And since he loves his family so much, he loves his mom, he was willing to try to clean up the mess. Okay. No, I don't have COVID. Sorry. I just have a crappy voice. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So no artificial voice. Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to say it definitely is quite nerve-wracking to do live stream shows because in real life, I can speak a lot better with people one-on-one. But when you're kind of being forced to keep talking and entertaining people nonstop, it definitely is a bit more nerve-wracking. So it's not the same as just having a conversation. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So you didn't like the artificial voice. Well, there were other selections. So I could try to play around and try some of the other free voices. Yeah. Thank you, Debbie. Thanks for being here. Yeah. I like the new judge also. Yes. Georgia Kaplan is great. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. Well, we all wanted to see Donna on the hot seat, but it looks like that is not going to happen. So, okay. He didn't get hired by the Adelsons because yeah, that's right. I mean, he's there to do his best for his clients who's paying for him. Yeah. Why do you think Tim Jansen is slight pro-defense? Well, I mean, just based on everything I've seen, I mean, I think I've watched every single STS episode that has to do with this case. So he always just seemed to downplay anything that could be for the state. Definitely he has talked to Rashbaum before to talk about what happened with Katie's proffer info behind the scenes. So that's my take on it. But I don't want to be negative on him either. I mean, mainly because he's, from what I heard, he got into a bad bicycle accident recently, so he's not doing well. That's why I really doubt that he's the jury consultant. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah. Trial starts on Monday. Yes, Monday with jury selection, which should take about 2 days. Okay. Been a long time coming. Yes, that's exactly why I think we feel so passionate about Dan Markel's case. Yep. Okay. Jury selection, which takes 2 days. And Mentor said that he doesn't plan on live streaming the jury selection. I didn't even think that that would be public, first of all, but it sounds like there could be a stream, but he's not planning on live streaming that part. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He sure has a lot of confidence, or he puts on a good act about that, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I doubt that he's the co-counsel, especially since he's been in a bad accident recently. Yeah. Charlie's smiling. Yeah. Maybe he's on a bunch of medications now. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a great question because I saw somebody else had also put that in a comment on Mentor's latest video. So, what did I say about that? What kind of jurors would they want? Well, the commenter said that, I guess it's a guy, he thought that the defense would be looking for young guys, whereas the prosecutors would want older conservative people, like older people. I mean, you can't really totally generalize, but I kind of feel like the jury pool is going to already be kind of slanted in a way because of the fact that the trial is supposed to last 3 weeks. So how many people really have 3 full weeks to take out of their lives to go to jury duty? So there's bound to be tons and tons of people who just get up there and tell the judge all about why they can't be on this case because they have work, they have small children, they're like a essential type of worker, like working for a hospital, working for a school. There's just so many things that could keep people off the jury, even if they haven't heard much about the case, if they might be otherwise very good, unbiased types of jurors. So I think we're most likely going to get more like retired people and maybe say like people without young kids, people who don't have jobs, maybe graduate students perhaps, but most other people that have regular jobs or have children, they're definitely going to do whatever they can to get out of jury duty. And I think the judge would let them be released also. So anyway, I would say you just basically want people who are very attentive and detail oriented. So someone that looks like they could care about the case. Yeah, I agree. He seems medicated. Let's see. Yeah, unhealthy to be attached to mom. Yeah, correct. Looks drugged out. Yeah, I agree with a lot of your comments. Thank you. Charlie's former cohorts. No, yeah, that's definitely not going to be admissible in his trial because those are just, things to show that he's supposed to be a bad guy, which is not admissible because it's too prejudicial in these types of cases, as well as basically irrelevant in terms of showing whether someone is likely to commit murder. Because just because you sell weed and steroids, does that mean you're going to commit murder? Yeah, probably not. I think there's lots of people, or not that I would know, but there might be people selling those kinds of substances who would not be also plotting murders of a former family member. So, yeah, so I doubt that's going to happen unless it has anything directly to do with this case. No. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some suit and tie that his mom has lovingly picked out for him. Okay, yeah, totally. Yeah, she said he's been the best dad since their kid was born. I'm like, really? Then why did you have to sue him for paternity and child support? That makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah. So I think that person quickly deleted her comment. Smiling. They have a defense to throw up. Yeah, blaming Katie. Yeah, but not just Katie and Sigfredo, but probably trying to blame it on Wendy. Yeah, because Lewis did mention the name Wendy and the lady. Okay. Yes. Okay. I really enjoyed that also. Thank you, Jeff. The short video that the society page put up. Let's see. Do you really think Charlie thinks he can get away with murder? Katie's charge. Yeah, you think he would. Maybe that's why he looks miserable. And most of the time he does look pretty beat and miserable. So, yeah, but I think he feels like he has great attorneys. His parents have paid a ton for these attorneys. Plus, they're going to get that jury consultant specialist. So, it's better than him just turning on his family or turning on his mom. Okay, you have relatives like the Adelsons, control freaks, and manipulators. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. Yeah. Can't imagine what the Markels are going through. Everything must be. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, as far as I know, they're all planning on being there too. So that's a lot of physical stress as well as emotional stress. Yeah. Hi, Sunny. Thanks for being here. People going around trying to destroy him. Yeah. Okay. So, like I said before, I don't think it's going to be Tim because of his medical issues now. Yeah, is Katie going to testify? Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards probably she is, but as you guys probably saw if you watched Surviving the Survivor, when he and I were both on the show, or maybe it was the last one, yeah, Tim was very, very, down on that. He said Katie's not going to testify. If she does, she might be used as a rebuttal witness for the state, but, he really didn't think Katie was going to testify, but she's there. She's in Leon County, ready and waiting. Yeah, so we still don't know. I just checked again. So let's see. We haven't seen Rashi on the other side. He'll with a one. Oh, well, he does seem like a nice, normal guy, but what do I know? We'll see what kind of job he does for Charlie. If Charlie doesn't take the stand, can anyone else testify? Charlie is just a big talker and bragger. I don't think so. Yeah, because that's what I was afraid of Harvey and Donna. If they were really going to be witnesses for him, I was afraid that they would get on the stand and just try to minimize Charlie's involvement and say what a great guy he is and that they all staple their cash. That's like a family trait, to just muddy up the waters and stuff. But now we know Donna and Harvey are not going to be there. So I think his old friend, the former friend who was a business partner who had a falling out with Charlie, he would probably also say that Charlie liked to talk and talk and talk at people. I think that's what he said at the previous trial. So, but who's going to say that Charlie was just BSing at Dolce Vita? I don't think that's up to some third party who wasn't actually there to say. Yeah. Okay, so you're reading Ruth's book. Yeah, let me help market Ruth's book again. It is felt more chilling and sinister that the family has been through so much. Yeah, every time I read certain passages from this, I'm just really disgusted at the way, say, like Donna and Wendy treated Ruth. It was just very cruel. So be sure to read this if you still haven't gotten the book written by Dan's mom. So let's see. Yeah, that's just a rumor. Yeah, which I think is not true. Yeah, well, Katie, yeah, so that's what I'm still not sure. Maybe the state isn't 100% sure. Maybe they just want to keep Katie on reserve in case they do need her. Yeah, and same with Sigfredo. Sigfredo has already been ordered to be transported to Leon County Jail in case he's needed for trial. Well, Rashbaum handled stress at the trial. Oh. Well, maybe that's why it's good that he has Kate Myers and this new person also helping. Yeah, it's very stressful to do trials, especially if it's going to be for so long. Yeah, for real, he is injured. Yeah, that's what I heard. Charlie's convinced himself he's innocent. Yeah. Well, yeah, for now, he'll play along as if he had nothing to do with it. Donna's the root of all evil. Yeah, nobody had the maturity or morals to just say, this is a stupid idea, we shouldn't do this. Saying he was set up won't work because they're paying all kinds of money to these people. Yeah, although, well, with the money, yeah, I mean, there's just too many talks, too many calls, conversations between him and Katie where it just seems like they were totally up into it. So any sort of idea that Katie did it and then was trying to bribe him or set him up, that would be ridiculous. Yeah. Okay, you guys are being too nice. I know I sound like crap, so maybe I should end this live stream soon. Okay, yeah, thank you guys. You're too nice. No way he takes us down. There's no story he can concoct to talk away the mountain. Yeah, I mean, I think it usually is a bad idea if the person probably did it. Why put them on the stand and have them risk being torn apart and look like a fool on the stand? Yeah, because he's not obligated to testify. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Well, Rashbaum was acting weak and whiny. He's not. Well, I mean, he's definitely a smart guy. He went to Cornell Law School, right? And his father was some bigwig prosecutor, I think, or had some sort of prestigious legal job. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Oh, you want to be entertained? Okay. Well, somebody else just told me today that I should stop trying to be entertaining and just focus on the facts because I think this person doesn't like the kind of comedic shorts. So can't please everybody. Charlie's cell phone is still active? You called Charlie's cell phone? Are you serious? I think it's because they truly have. Okay, well, first of all, how'd you get the cell phone number? You would think that he would have already switched cell phone numbers, but okay, interesting. So who's using Charlie's cell phone? Okay, well, not that I'm telling people to, call Charlie's cell phone. So, okay, stop saying you have a crappy voice. People who matter don't mind. People who, oh, thank you so much. That makes me feel better. I guess I'll keep doing this. Okay. Love your podcast. Okay with artificial voice, do whatever works. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll play around because there were some fake voices that sounded a little better, but they were limited in terms of time usage. Otherwise, you had to pay to use the best voices. I was like, I'm not going to pay to use this fake voice. I'll choose a free one. Let's see. If Charlie blames Wendy, will his defense attorney begin to frame Wendy with evidence? Well, he doesn't even have to put on evidence as the defendant. So, and there already is something right out there, which, in my opinion, would be Luis Rivera, because Luis knew nothing about Charlie. So he mentioned repeatedly during his proffer interview that he was told by Sigfredo they were doing this for some lady who wants her kids back. And there's the lady, there's that lady, Then he mentioned Wendy, the name Wendy specifically. So I think Rashbaum is definitely going to use that to his advantage. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think it was really funny. I was kind of like, I don't know if I would say that when we're talking about a case where the victim was shot twice in the head. Yeah, some of the commenters noticed that also and weren't too happy with it. Yeah, but overall, I think the judge is really, really good. Katie has tons of WhatsApp messages and turned them out. Yeah, well, we're all just speculating, but I think within a week we will know for sure. Oh, okay. Pugsley is here. Thank you, Pugsley. Great to hear your voice. What are some key things in? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think I already mentioned that. I think I'm really way behind on the comments and stuff. So I would just personally want somebody that seems smart and attentive, someone that doesn't seem like pissed off to be there, because the last thing you need is somebody who's angry, got a scowl on their face, seems really mad and inconvenienced that they had to be chosen for jury duty. So that's what I'd be looking for, is just people who seem to be like fair, honest people who clearly understand English, don't have some pressing obligation where they're going to be stressed out and resentful about being there. So that's what I'd be looking for. Yeah. And that's cool that they have so much money. They're paying somebody to help with jury selection, because back in my day when I had my last jury trial, it was really nerve-wracking because I had nobody to help me. And I remember going home and Googling all the people that got selected to be on the jury to see where they lived, maybe what they did for a living, or voter registration records, social media and stuff. So yeah, so I'm kind of getting some PTSD about my previous trial ages ago. Okay. Oh, you watched that? Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you for commenting about that. The interview with Jeremy Mutz, fascinating. He knew much of what was going on behind the scenes. That's right, because he was actually working there in the prosecutor's office. Yeah. So maybe I can try to get in touch with him again. Although he's not really close to Tallahassee anymore. He has his own practice. Okay. Oh, yes, exactly. Let's talk about Dan Markel. Okay. Yep. Secret deal. Well, if it's secret, we don't know. But yeah, so we still don't know if she's been given any sort of deal. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it pisses you off that Donna won't be testifying. Want to see her score. Yeah, I was kind of curious to see, like, what would they say? Even at that sort of investigative interview, what would they say? What would their demeanor be like? Yeah. Now that they're not going to call her to testify, I bet they'll arrest Donna immediately. I would hope so too. I mean, that would be great timing. I mean, what are they waiting for? Especially if Charlie gets convicted. Yeah. Okay, Wendy is Quilty. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I think that was a hunch. Is Tim being paid by the Adelsons? It would make sure. Well, I did point blank ask him probably like a month or two ago on one of the live streams when I was not a guest, but I was in the chat. I wanted to know if he was actually being hired as a consultant for Rashbaum, and he said no. So go figure. Yeah, but before the show, when he and I were on it more recently, he did send us a group email saying that he had just talked to Rashbaum, and that's how he got the summary of what happened with a motion hearing. So how long will the trial take? I think we're all saying probably about 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks total. Yeah, but it's out of our control because we don't know how long it's going to take to select a jury or how long it's going to take for the jury to deliberate. So, yeah, agree. Okay. Tim is a big-time defense attorney. They all do. Yeah, but I did think it was unusual though, because I was like, this guy has his own law practice. How does he have time to, keep paying attention to this other case that is not his own? if he's not getting paid to just keep reading and talking to the other attorney and, showing up multiple times over and over and over again on Surviving the Survivor. I mean, even I didn't feel like doing that, or I had no time to keep showing up on somebody else's channel to do that. Yeah. But let's see. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're going to be there. Yeah, because of what Rashbaum said when the judge was asking him if they needed some separate room or place where Charlie's family could be to possibly watch the trial. Oh, okay. So you like the microphone. Okay. Well, I guess I'm trying to talk more closely into the microphone now, but I do have it set on this, what do you call it, cardioid setting with a lower gain. So, okay, 3 weeks. Okay. Thank you, Dawn, for being here. Be sure to support her channel also. Okay. Yeah, we've definitely been spoiled by Fancy Fiction putting up so many more wiretap calls, because I kept thinking that maybe there are no more wiretap calls, but she gave us this, it actually wasn't a wiretap call, but it was a recording of a dental board hearing from possibly 2015 or 2016, where Harvey was disciplined for, what was it, like breaking or fracturing somebody's mandible during a tooth extraction, and not taking recent x-rays or not taking x-rays of the patient right before the procedure. I think that's what happened. Yeah. Okay, you've been in dentistry 23 years, never heard of a jaw getting broken during tooth extraction. Yeah, and to think that even after that hearing, he continued practicing dentistry for at least another, say, like 4 to 5 years before the practice shut down. So that was really interesting to hear, in addition to those wiretap calls between Katie and Jim Lewis, who was helping Sigfredo at first. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be there. Okay. Okay. Thank you, CC. SS. Yeah, Charlie knows he's screwed. I can see it when he's in his jail garb. Yep, he'll be wearing a suit on Monday, which his mommy especially bought for him. Okay, he seemed angry at the last hearing, seemed upbeat the last hearing. Yeah. Well, he probably has to put on a good face once the jury comes in. Yeah. Put on his performance of his life. Yeah. Telling him to cut a deal. Yeah, everyone for themselves. Yeah. Well, let's see. He seems elated. Yeah, Rashbaum seemed confident and happy again. Okay, so Patrick is saying this is slam dunk, direct as well as circumstantial evidence proving that Charlie coordinated, planned, and executed this murder for hire scheme. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a pretty very high probability that he is also going to get convicted. Yeah, but I'll still be holding my breath because you never know what could happen, right? Okay. Selling weed and steroids shows his lack of moral compass. Yeah, but the trial isn't about whether he's a moral person. So, okay. Thank you. You guys are being too nice. Let's see. Debbie says she's not a dentist, but in a profession where we take x-rays of the patient yearly, you never know what you'll find. We find lots in just 1 year. Yeah. Is there going to be any surprise evidence? Yeah, I don't think so, because the state is already supposed to turn over all the evidence in advance to the defense so they can adequately prepare. So the surprise would really be from Charlie's side. What is his defense going to be? And what are the his witnesses going to say? And speaking of Charlie's witnesses, everybody was wondering, who is this Gary Cohen person who was listed as a possible witness for Charlie? And his deposition was taken about a week and a half ago, I think, or 2 weeks ago. So when I was listening to Lacass's police interview again on Deep Dive True Crime today, I finally noticed that Lacasse had said someone named Gary. Gary was working on compiling a whole year of emails between Wendy and Dan because they were trying to get a restraining order against Dan. So I assume that person, Gary, that Lacasse referred to is the same Gary Cohen person who was a lawyer. Actually, Lacasse did say this was the lawyer that was offering Wendy a job with his law firm. So who knows if he's going to testify, or in what way would that really help Charlie's defense, other than maybe, again, pointing fingers towards Wendy, talking about how much Wendy hated Dan and what Wendy might have told him. Okay. Prosecution should have a celebration dinner in court. Oh, that sounds disgusting. Okay. Yeah. No eating in the courtroom. Okay. Yes, I do believe Ratchbaum will blame Wendy. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for being here. Let's see. I like Georgia's opening. What enemy did Dan Markel have who wanted him dead? Answer: his own family. Yeah. Yeah. His former family. Yeah, definitely always looks better. The defendants are in street clothes. Yeah. Are they going to make a documentary? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be like some sort of like Netflix show or whatever, because there's already supposed to be a Dateline and or 2020 show about this case, but I don't think it's going to air until sometime during the trial, maybe. Okay. Okay, I think I'll hop all the way down because, yeah, it's already been 36 minutes. I was hoping to make this short. Yeah. Okay. All major evidence for Charlie has been discovered. I'm hoping the state is holding back some evidence that's specific to Wendy for her trial. The fact that Adelsons are being picked off one by one. Yeah, exactly. Although one thing we haven't seen, which has not been made public, is Katie's proffer. So I don't know if that's going to be totally damaging against Charlie. You would think so. Yeah, hope he does blame Wendy. Yeah, agreed. On an order of who is most implicated by the bump means not too much evidence on any of them, but I think it would be. Okay. Do they all pick the jurors together at the same time? Yeah. Yeah, so the judge said that they're going to call in 50 people. So they'll start with a group of 50 people, and the judge already had 5 questions that he was going to ask them all. And then the attorneys get to follow up with more questions to each juror. So, yeah, but I'm not sure how things are done in Florida, but usually you would think that they also have the ability to strike jurors, like a certain number of peremptory strikes without having to give a reason. So maybe, again, mentor lawyer can explain this better than I can because I don't practice in Florida. Yeah. Katie may have Wendy Donna evidence. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, what jurors will believe Charlie's sleaze and lies. Yeah, that's why, again, it was really interesting to rewatch Jeffrey Lacasse's interview on Deep Dive True Crime, because he went on about how Charlie gave him the creeps when he first met him. Just, that your alarm bells would be going off. Lacasse said he had worked in the juvenile justice system in the past. So, this seemed like your typical, what do they call it? Like a conduct disorder kid, that he was in special ed before, some sort of like history of behavioral problems since he was a kid. And he's sort of like a con man. He's good at talking. That's how he gets all his women. Yeah. So Lacasse definitely was very perceptive about both Charlie as well as Wendy. Yeah, regarding Wendy, you guys probably already heard all this, but He said stuff about how she was a narcissistic sociopath, no conscience. That's the way the whole family actually is. No sense of guilt, no empathy. Yeah, it was really enlightening to watch that again today, especially given how much more we know. Okay. Yeah, I don't think so, since it already got canceled, so I doubt it. Yeah. Yeah, because with that kind of interview, they had to give them the limited immunity. So I doubt they're going to be interviewed later. Okay, nobody will believe him. 3 alternates is crazy if they. No, I think it's pretty unlikely that a juror, once the jury is seated, it's pretty rare for there to be some sort of misconduct to the point where somebody has to be knocked off the jury. I'm just thinking of possible examples, like if it turns out that the juror was actually friends with Charlie, or was like talking to the Adelsons behind the scenes or something. Yeah, so I think both sides felt like having 3 alternates was enough. Okay, 1 alternate per week of trial is pretty standard. Okay, right. And open with $1 million. That's how much the defendant felt Dan Markel's life was worth. Well, actually, wasn't it 100,000? Yeah, because Katie wound up with $100,000. The $1 million was the offer that Donna was talking about to offer Dan back in 2013 to allow Wendy to take the kids. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Lacasse is an honorable man mixed up with the wrong people. Yeah, you definitely feel sorry for him. He was just like a normal guy being a professor, and then he happens to meet Wendy Adelson. Got wrapped up in all this. Katie looks like she went away to summer camp. Well, I mean, good for Katie. She probably knew she would be back up on the TV screens and in the media again. So she did something to work hard to lose some weight and look better for her latest mugshot. Yeah. And as someone joked, maybe she's looking for more prison pen pals. So she had to make herself look better for her picture. Yeah. Older brother is smart, not to have anything to do with his own family. That's sad. He's the only one that escaped. Yeah. I was really pleasantly surprised when the oldest brother, Rob, actually responded to one of my Facebook posts in the Justice Dan Markel Facebook group. They just changed the name recently, but that's cool that he's part of these groups trying to focus on getting justice for Dan. So he seems like a really upstanding person. And he did also say that, once this was all over, he looks forward to being able to tell everything. Will Charlie take the stand? Yeah. So all the attorneys have said ultimately it is the client's decision whether he wants to take the stand. So maybe he will. I don't know. It depends how things go and how he and his attorneys feel. But it's his decision. So. Okay, I always feel the best way a defense can get someone off is the client, if the client is definitely guilty, some kind of juror misconduct. Yeah, but then they still have the alternates also. So, let's see, Katie was an intermediary buffer escape. Yeah, that's right. It wasn't all cooked up by Katie. There were people higher up that were really pulling the strings and pulling the purse strings. Only thing that could impact jurors once selected is COVID, to the point where, yeah, that could happen also. Yeah. So when I go, I'm definitely going to be wearing a mask inside there. So I'll probably be the only person with a mask on, but kind of become a germaphobe after COVID happened. So I can't afford to get sick, especially on a trip. Yeah. So that's assuming he testifies, because as mentor has told us, just because somebody's on the witness list, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be called up there. Yeah. I bet he does have lots of really interesting things to say. It's like in The Godfather when the guy laughs and says, yeah, the family had a lot of buffers. Okay. I don't remember that, but I wasn't that into the Godfather movies. Okay. Standard, we're all here waiting for this. Thought of a mistrial is just too much to bear. Yeah. Or for him to be found not guilty. Yeah. I want to think about that. Yeah. Selecting jurors, not extreme ones, will be key. Correct. Yeah. Thank you, Helen. Okay. Yeah, Rob is the only one with a conscience and morals, apparently. Oh, okay. Katie probably saw our comments about her honey bun diet. Yeah, she was so upset because her honey bun arrived with mold on it. Oh, and she also had that, what's it called? The squeezable cheese that was part of her order. Yeah, thanks to True Lifestyles for telling us these bits of trivia about the case. Squeeze cheese. Yeah. I'm like that older brother. I had a family basically as messed up as this, hit the road jack, and don't like that. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear about that, but glad you escaped. Okay. Okay. Will Katie get out? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we haven't heard anything about a deal. So I would have thought that if she had gotten a deal from the proffer, that would have taken place before Charlie's trial. But what do I know? Yeah. Or maybe there is no deal, but she still wants to tell the truth because she's so mad about this family using her, sending her away to prison for life for Wendy. Okay. Did anyone see or hear from any jurors in the other trials? Oh, well, Mentor Lawyer did talk with at least one of the jurors from, I can't remember, from the first trial, as well as the second trial. Yeah, because early on last year, he did ask me to help read some words or a statement from one of the female jury members in Katie's second trial. Yeah, but I'm not sure if that's still publicly accessible on his YouTube channel, though. Yeah, I think he might have put some stuff for Patreons. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can't speak until after the verdict. Yeah. Okay, so everybody else around here seems to know about the case too. So you guys are answering the questions. Thank you. Okay, Rob is a good guy. Hope he doesn't build. Oh, of course not. Yeah, I think he and his wife and the kids are living their own happy separate life or lives. Okay. Oh, well, thank you, Margaret. I appreciate that. Talking about, oh yeah, yeah. Okay, after the trial is over, people can talk if they want to. That's why sometimes you see books written by people about the cases too. You would speak out after this is over. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I think he did probably put a lot of things so that only his Patreons can see it. Yeah. Yeah, you would think Katie already had this come to Jesus moment. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and that was money. He wanted to return some change. It was like some sort of like a tennis tournament where the person at the snack bar gave him too much change and he went back to return the change. So they made fun of him. That's what we're not sure. I don't think it was conclusively established because that was something that Donna mentioned in an email to Wendy. And since I read that email, she actually did say, I don't think you realize the kind of offer that we're considering. So then Donna says we're thinking about a $1 million offer that's 333K from each of us. Well, really, it would be more than 333K, but it was supposed to be between Harvey and Donna as one unit, then Charlie and Wendy split 3 ways. So I don't know if they actually said it to Dan, but it was just mentioned by Donna. Oh, okay. Yeah, I looked that up too. Yeah, there's so many like interesting food products that you can't get unless you're actually in the prison system, because there's a big company that almost has a monopoly on all those products. So you can't get that Cactus Annie squeeze cheese thing unless you're in jail or in prison. So, yes, it was money. That's crazy they got robbed for being, yeah, I mean, it shows how screwed up their morals are. I can't believe they would make fun of a kid for doing that. Makes it sound like the cheese is your boy. Okay, squeeze cheese. Okay. Yeah. It has to come in a special pouch because I guess they don't want the prisoners having metal things that they could use to turn into weapons. Yeah. Let's see. Dan wouldn't take $1 million in exchange. Yeah, I'm sure he definitely would have turned it down, but whether they even made the offer to him is kind of up in the air. I don't know for sure. Okay, I wouldn't put it past the Adelsons to pay off jury members if they're going down. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I sure hope that doesn't happen. Yeah. I mean, who knows what kind of gifts and favors they have done to their former employees. Remember those 2 employees that just seemed totally brainwashed and weird up on the stand trying to defend the Adelsons, as well as June. So I have no idea, but I think the prosecution, I mean, they would only know about it if these people were honest and mentioned that they were being bribed or had been approached by the Adelsons to change their testimony. So, yeah, so we still don't know what exactly transpired, but both sides just voluntarily agreed to drop that investigative interview. So that was very surprising. Okay. Oh, okay. If the case is over, then oh, okay. So not sure what the full question is now, because sorry, we have so many questions. It's hard to keep track of the line of discussion. Yeah. Hard for me to imagine Rashbaum blaming things on Wendy, I guess, with the parents being protected. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the parents would be fine with that, just saying, do whatever you need to do to get Charlie off. So that's the focus now. So if Rashbaum has to, get tough with Wendy and make her look bad in court, then so be it. Yeah, they just want Charlie found not guilty so he can come home. Yeah, and by the way, his home is back on the market for sale again. So 1.685 million. Okay. Having a moral compass and making choices about who you associate with is just as important as all those other things. Yeah, that's right. It's like all those sayings. What is it? Like if you lay down with dogs, you might get fleas. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, no thanks. I absolutely do not want to get involved in politics. Although a lot of lawyers seem to like to do that. Yeah, I think Donna should get arrested next, especially if Charlie is convicted. It's like Cass exercising his brain. Yeah, well, I hope he's taking time off and, just doing what he needs to do for his own mental health. Yeah. And I hope he knows that lots of people support him, and hopefully he's seen that nice, funny, supportive video that the society page created for him. Yeah. Yes, there is that special brand. It's like Cactus Annie's squeeze cheese, which you have to buy through the prison system. Yeah, let's hope so. No, Sigfredo did not speak. Yeah, I have no idea. It seemed like he was ready to testify at Katie's trial, but then there was some issue maybe where I'm just guessing maybe where Sigfredo was being coached by Tara Kawas on one of the phone calls, so that was a big issue there. So again, just speculating. Okay, so I'm taking another lozenge now. Let's talk about squeeze cheese. Yeah, the sad thing is that after I heard about that, I went to the different grocery stores looking to see if they sold that, but they don't. The most I could get was that processed cheese dip that they sell with the potato chips and nachos. Brainwashed. Exactly. It's like a cold. What kind of person thinks you can give somebody money to forget about their kids? Yeah, because Donna was even calculating in her email, talking about, well, that's more money than he could ever make, and he could retire off of it. It's like, what's wrong with you? You think that somebody would actually just say, oh, wow, that's so much more money than I could possibly make as a professor, so sure, take those kids away. Bye. Yeah, that's how demented she was. The way her brain worked is very telling, reading those emails of hers. Okay, especially Clarissa, she's high on the Adelson supply. Yeah, she's probably gotten some money and special gifts from the Adelsons. Just my opinion. Take their money, vote guilty. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so prison coffee is good, really? Okay. Well, blaming Wendy even work. One sure think, yeah, they were both involved. Yeah, true. I mean, I'm just throwing out ideas, but I'm thinking the blame it on Wendy defense strategy is probably more palatable than saying, oh, he just hired Sigfredo and Lewis to go rough up Dan and they took it too far and killed him. That just sounds a lot more ludicrous than saying, well, it was all Wendy's fault. She had the motive. She talked with Sigfredo. Lewis didn't know anything about Charlie, something like that. Yeah. Same here. Yeah, hopeful for Donna's arrest. Okay. I think they're going to make Erica look bad in court. She's too loyal to Charlie for a reason. Cha-ching. Yeah, I wonder, wouldn't you think the state also has the power to subpoena these people's bank records? Although I guess that wouldn't really help if they got paid in cash or got gifts or something. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, that would be great if, say, like Surviving the Survivor or Mentor Lawyer could get him to sit down for an interview. Yeah, TV has caused way past 5. Yeah. Carl's prediction didn't come to pass. Sadly, Donna's arrest before Charlie's trial. Sure, they could arrest her on a Sunday too. Yeah, I think so. Okay, yeah, now we have all been told about this awesome squeezed cheese that Katie couldn't get enough of. Yeah. I can only imagine what he'll say. Charlie came up with this crazy plan and things snowballed from there. Nobody had the courage to say, stop this insanity, correct? Non-legal opinion, best defense for Charlie is that the state didn't. Yeah, that could have been anybody else. It could have been somebody else in the family. So they didn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Charlie was the one that actually, paid or had anything to do with plotting the murder before it happened, but maybe he did some stuff to help his family afterwards. I guess that could be the defense. Not convinced old Willie wasn't getting payoffs from Adelsons to keep them protected while he was in office. Yeah, it could be true. I mean, I'm just guessing, but didn't the Adelsons donate tons of money to politicians? They had friends. Wendy's godfather was a judge, right? So they had lots of friends in politics and were probably active donors. So it's just speculation here. Yeah. Nothing will surpass your taste test. Oh, okay. No, I remember I told people I would not be eating on camera. Here I am still using this lemon lozenge here. Oh, but I'm not really eating. So many cases. What is it about this case that grabbed you? If I were Dan, well, I mean, this is what did sort of resonate with me was when Remy and I were reading these memories of Dan Markel. I think this was maybe last year, but Dan's friend from Harvard, David Latt, had written that Dan was the sort of guy who wouldn't say that that's not my problem. He wouldn't be the guy that wouldn't care about things and would just brush things off saying that ain't my problem. So I mean, I think I'm kind of like the same way. If there's some sort of like grievous injustice or something really bad happening, sometimes I just kind of grab onto certain causes or issues that I really care about, and I don't let go, or I'm not just going to be like, yeah, well, whatever. It's just something else that doesn't concern me. So, what am I having for dinner tonight? I mean, that's just something kind of weird about my personality, that for certain things I really care about, and I really get into, then I get kind of like obsessed with it. And I think that's what's happened to all of us here, is that we have gotten obsessed with wanting justice for Dan, caring about his case, his family. His mother has been so generous with her time and her willingness to come out and put a public face to the family to tell us more about her son. So it really personalizes this whole case, knowing that this was a real person who was very well liked, much loved, who had done so many good things and was such a high achiever. So I've mentioned this before, but, first being also in the legal field, plus my ex-husband is a law professor. So I felt pretty connected to this case when I first heard about it. It was either through my ex-husband back when he told me about the case and said, thanks for not killing me, when we got divorced. But, or maybe I heard about it through Above the Law, because that was when David Latt was reporting a lot about this case. So the case kind of jumped out at me because I thought, well, geez, this is sort of like my story too, where I was like Wendy, who had to move to a place that I didn't want to move to because of my spouse having a job as a law professor. So when you're in academia, not just teaching law, but in general, you really have no control over where you're going to wind up, because those jobs are so coveted and it's so competitive. Look at what happened with Dan. He's like a Harvard graduate with an extra master's degree who had to work for Florida State University, which is, a fine public school, but it's not Ivy League, of course. Everybody would agree that he had graduated from such great top schools, but he had to start at a much lower ranked school to build up his legal teaching career. So I identified with that, plus the fact that despite my youthful good looks, I was actually the same year in school as Dan, graduating from high school in 91, graduated from college in 95. So that part I identified with, the fact that he and Wendy were both very academically inclined. I felt like these were people that I could have known, people that I might have met when I worked up in DC. Dan also worked in DC for maybe how long did he work in DC? Maybe about 2 or 3 years for a firm in downtown DC before he went on that job market to get the job at Florida State. So in fact, he was at that meat market thing. That's what they used to call it, the meat market at the Portman Park Hotel, maybe a year after my ex-husband and I were at that same job market. So I kind of understood what he went through, all the interviews, dragging all your papers and, preparing for your job talks and stuff, flying around, interviewing with different law schools. That was basically what my ex-husband had gone through to get his job, which made me basically have a downturn in my legal career because I had to move due to his job to a totally new place. So anyway, so that's kind of a long-winded story about what kind of captured my attention about this whole Dan Markel case and why I keep doing stuff about it, even though a lot of people have been very rude to me and, critical and just being harassed by crazy people and barely making any money for my time and stuff. But anyway, it's not about me. It's about getting justice for Dan and feeling like, I want to help this situation, and what can we as a collective community do to try to make sure that Dan Markel is not forgotten. Now, is Sigfredo back? Yes. Yeah, as far as I know, because the order to transport him came out about a week or so ago, maybe more than a week ago. So I'm pretty sure he's already there. Yeah, but they always have these things within the jail records to make sure that certain inmates are separated from other people. So thanks to True Lifestyles, we saw in Katie's jail records, for example, that it says, she's not to be housed anywhere near with these people. And there's like a list of a few people. So I'm sure Sigfredo and Charlie are being kept separately. Yeah, I think that was me that mentioned that. Now I can't even remember how I found that out. So yeah, that's what I heard from somewhere, that Erica is still working at the same location, but for the new owners. But when do you understand what the immunity says? It was all her. Well, I really doubt she would even do that. Yeah, she's not going to admit that she did. Yeah. She could still be charged, though. Yeah, based on any other evidence that the state might have from other sources. Yeah, I guess logistically it is kind of a hassle if there are, say, like prisoners from rival gangs or former co-defendants or former co-conspirators or whatever, where they all have to be separated from each other. I don't know how big that jail is, though. Is there a popcorn? Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know about that, but there was a really funny video on the Society page where he or she had something to do with popcorn, and then suddenly all the Adelson's faces were like kernels of popcorn popping around on the screen. I thought that was really funny and very cool looking. It must have taken forever to put together that video. Well, now I know why Donna was so worried about expensive groceries for the boys once they were grown. Yeah, yeah, they sure do have a lot of expenses these days. Yeah. There's something going on there. He fought tooth and nail to keep the heat off the Adelsons for as long as he could, claiming they had. Yeah, I mean, and to even go to the press, we're talking about Willie Meggs here from way back when, like in, 2016 or something? Yeah, that was just really weird when he would even say publicly that if law enforcement did anything to arrest the Adelsons or whatever, then what did he say? He basically threatened their jobs or said there would be lawsuits or whatever. Yeah, that's just awful. If there was some sort of corruption going on, maybe they'll be arrested at the same time to prevent further story. Yeah, that's why I thought it was so weird. And even people kept asking, like, how can Donna still be making phone calls to Charlie? How come they're still able to have phone calls while he's in jail when she's already been named as a co-conspirator? So beats me. I have no idea how that could keep happening. I just kind of hope that maybe they did slip up and say some stuff that would be bad for their cases. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. You mentioned Weinstein. Okay. Eat and do what you want. It's okay. I'm just trying to sound better by having these lozenges and water and stuff. Okay, Peter Weinstein is Wendy's godfather. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Michael Weinstein, his son, is Charlie's friend. Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember that about him coming public to defend Charlie, but that was years ago. So hopefully he's wised up. Yeah, that's right. I did some research before True Lifestyles, and I did that live stream show where I was eating those whole shebang with potato chips from the jail company. Yeah. And they charge a lot for their stuff too. Okay, Dawn. Oh, yeah, Dawn's on the West Coast. I have to get up super early for this because I'm on the West Coast. Fast forward and skip the breaks. Yeah, because there's usually lots of like breaks where they might have sidebars, or, you know, maybe they'll tell the jury to leave if they still have to debate over some evidentiary issue or something. So there's bound to be some downtime, or they'll be taking breaks also so people can run to the restroom and stuff, lunch breaks. Not sure, something was stinking in the Tallahassee prosecutor's office. Yeah, that's right. And that's basically what Jeremy Muntz was alluding to, or flat out said in the past too. Yeah. Yeah, this, I don't think it's going to be televised. And Mentor Lawyer said toward the end of his live stream that he wasn't planning on live streaming the jury selection. Yeah, no, I was surprised. You would think that would not even be public anyway, because wouldn't they want to preserve the anonymity of the jurors? Okay, do you get paid? Yeah, I don't know about Florida, but usually they would just get paid something really piddly, like $6 a day or $10 a day or something, and they get a free lunch and get free parking. Yeah, so it's definitely not a way to get really compensated for so much of your time, but that's part of your civic duty. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you, Charlie Delta Whiskey. You got $10 per day of trial. Yeah. I mean, I guess it differs from state to state and state versus federal. Okay, no squeeze cheese. Okay. These paid off public support events by Adelson Institute. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't see that movie. Okay, something at Denmark is rotten. Yes. Concerned Wendy will still. Yeah, I still don't know. I mean, it still looks like, I don't think there's enough evidence to convict Wendy based on publicly available information. So, I mean, with those Florida lawyers being pretty negative about whether Wendy or anybody else would get convicted, I'm not that optimistic at this point, but, we'll see what comes out at Charlie's trial and whether Katie will be of any use. Oh, okay. Thank you, guys. Yes. Yeah, he's in Leon County. Oh, okay. Thank you very much telling everybody to hit the like. Yeah, exactly. Why did Sigfredo call Harvey Adelson? Was it really just because he thought he was calling Charlie? Okay, Lewis is in Leon County. Sigfredo is not. Oh, okay. So you just checked. Okay, well, he should be there before Monday, though. So maybe later tonight or tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, you didn't do a logical thing and put out a hit. Oh, thank you for praising me for not killing my ex-husband. Yeah. So, and we did have a son, we have joint custody. So, yeah, that's another reason why I identified with the Markel case, because we also separated and got divorced the same year and had a child the same year as they did too. So, a lot of lot of parallels, except without this whole murder and all the stuff going on after the fact. Yeah. No, I have not had the home office tested for mold. Will the hitman test? Yeah, well, I mean, Lewis is definitely going to be testifying, but he doesn't really have anything that would be bad for Charlie specifically, though, because he had no contact with Charlie. So, like I said, I think Rashbaum will maximize that to his client's benefit. Yeah. And we don't know about Sigfredo. That would be really great if Sigfredo finally, if he remembers anything, if he could say anything of use. Wendy might be last. I have to believe she'll be charged. Yeah, I mean, I would like her to be accountable also. Yeah, so just have to wait and see. Yeah, she was only truthful about the definition. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I think prison is rough for everybody. Yeah. Does the court monitor the jury's self? Yeah, I don't think they have the resources or the people available to do all that, though. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, supposedly, like the judge could instruct the jury members, not to be looking for any news, don't read any news about the case while the trial is going on, or don't talk to anybody about the case, don't talk to your family members about the case. But yeah, I don't think they're going to be like doing like, surveillance on the jury members, though, to find that out. Okay. Wonder who's taking care of Katie's. Yeah, so yeah, people have said that it's one of her brothers. I thought it was the oldest brother who also had a couple of kids, and his wife, or now ex-wife, Samantha, is in prison for embezzling over $1 million from her former employer. But then I think Fancy said a source told her it's actually the other brother who doesn't have kids, as far as I know. So we're not sure. Yeah. And somebody said that Katie's dad was in some sort of like a, what do you call it, assisted living facility, but I really couldn't figure out what happened with her dad. Oh, okay. So you think Erica said she followed with the new owners? Okay, well, Donna, well, I hope so. Well, especially Donna. I did that video with the artificial voice talking about why I don't think Harvey is going to get arrested, but feel free to watch that. But it's all just with an asterisk saying this is just my opinion based on publicly available information. So, of course, a lot of stuff is probably going to be revealed over the next few weeks in Charlie's trial. So, who knows what could happen. But at this point, I don't feel optimistic about Harvey, but I do think that Donna should be arrested, or she should have been arrested by now. Yeah, I'm gonna keep them gabbing so they can catch them. Okay. Okay, let them talk all they want. Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, same here. Still eagerly waiting to see what his defense is. Her dad was Jewish. Okay, you're talking about Donna. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I had a source tell me that both her parents were Jewish, but who knows if the mom converted or if she was, I don't know, what should you say, ethnically Jewish? Let's see. Hope she does. She'll be able to raise her kids to adulthood before ever charged, which feels like she wants, yeah, to have them, just like Donna, to have the love of those children looking up to her. Yeah. Okay, so you like seeing the chips. Okay. Nobody could ever crack the Adelson's brilliant code on jail costs. Yeah. Yeah, I still would like to know if that whole discussion about the suitcase and fussing over a suitcase, was that also a code word for something? Like maybe suitcase meant like a stash of cash. Yeah, it was just a very bizarre wiretap call between Donna and Charlie about a suitcase. Yeah, I was the one that confirmed through a source that both the parents were Jewish. Okay. Yeah, this is where, based on True Lifestyles' review of jail records, it doesn't seem like he has had any visitors. But I did also hear that that jail doesn't allow visitors now, so I'm not sure if that's still the case. Okay, so in DC, people get $30 a day. Oh, yeah, well, it could cost $30 just to get to and from on the metro now. It's so expensive. Last time I went there. Okay, so let's see. Okay, well, I'll just, yeah, because there were a few things I wanted to point out. So let me do that real fast before my voice totally dies. And then people just keep writing negative comments about it. So, okay, so first thing I wanted to show you guys, which I think most of you all have already seen before, this is that writing class, writingclassradio.com, where Wendy was one of the students a while back, and she was talking about Dan's murder and how she really feels now that she has a latex spouse. So I'm not really sure what year this was made, but Debbie Martin actually made me look this up again today because she had left comments talking about how isn't it weird in this podcast where Wendy claims that they don't know who killed her ex-husband, but it was likely a professional or likely a professional hitman, something to that effect. So I went back and listened, and sure enough, that is what she said. Something about like it was likely a professional. So it does make you wonder, what year did this happen? Because why would she think that it's a professional hitman? You know, that's kind of strange. So take a look at this. It is called writingclassradio.com. And when you click on meet the class, it still has her photo here. There's her with this manic looking woman here. So that's what she looked like back then. I'm guessing this was probably like in 2015, perhaps, where she tries to make it all about her and how her life has been affected. She didn't get to speak at this graduation, and she didn't get to go travel with her dad because Dan died, and she can't talk about her feelings openly. But see, look how different she looks from this first picture, where she doesn't really look that good, in my opinion. I mean, not to get all catty, but then this photoshopped picture, she doesn't look like this at all. But it says she's an immigration lawyer, mama of two scrumptious boys, maker of soup and merriment, who has found a home in Miami, Florida. So it seems like all these people are trying to make themselves sound really cute and charming. So take a look if you haven't, or even if it's been quite a while since you heard her writing workshop thing. So it's actually something you could find on, let's see, if you Google writing class radio Wendy Adelson. Yeah, it's like about 6 or 7 choices down. If you Google it, then you can find her actual recording. Okay, so last thing I wanted to show, since we're getting ready for the trial, is something that Dan wrote himself, which is, you know, kind of sad but poignant, where he's talking about how happy he was that he had just gotten engaged here to Wendy. Let me try to expand it a little. Sorry. Okay. Just feeling kind of run down as usual. Okay. So this is where he's saying he became the luckiest guy on earth. Wendy Adelson agreed to marry me. She now wears what she likes to call a big girl ring, which I find has proven a worthwhile investment in terms of its deterrent powers alone. All I can say is, wow, did I win the lottery of life? And it is a sentiment with which my friends and family eagerly agree. So that was posted May 25th, 2005 at 10:36 p.m. So there's some comments here from other professors congratulating him. Okay, so I'll take that off the screen. So it shows how excited he was when he met Wendy and proposed to her, and then she accepted, and they got married the following year, back in 2006. Okay, so didn't know if anybody had, well, I was thinking about just having an open invitation to see if people really wanted to speak live on the screen or whatever, but looks like somehow I found enough to fill almost an hour and a half. So, okay. Oops, so there was one other thing that I thought would be kind of fun. Because if you guys actually saw my comedic live stream show from a couple of weeks ago, I made some sort of joke as Donna talking about how her idol was Karen Carpenter. So then I started going down this rabbit hole of watching Karen Carpenter performances and stuff. So let's try to see if it.
Together, together, the evening comes, we smile, so much of life ahead. We'll find a place where there's room to grow. Yes, we've just begun to live.
Okay, so that's enough. It's been well over an hour and stuff. So I'm going to try to live stream as much as I can during the trial, or at least give some sort of recap or something. But it also depends on my own real work schedule and how my voice holds up and everything. So thank you guys for being here and caring about Dan Markel and Justice for Dan. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, because I switched from my real microphone to make sure you guys could hear the video. So I guess I'll have to edit that part out later. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to those who have made some donations to the live stream show and everything. So have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Justice for Dan.